Hey, Damien here for Automotive Superstore. Three-way split component sets are one of the most beneficial things you can do to improve sound quality in your car, but it's not so straightforward. There are a lot of options that you can choose from budgets all the way from super affordable all the way to high end. And there are things to think about like the installation and things like signal processing, crossovers, and amplification. I'm going to cover all that in this video. Let's get to it. Now it's worth mentioning before I just get started on this one. I've already done two videos on the channel about speakers. One's a general one that's really good to know if you haven't got much experience in upgrading your car audio. It talks about impedances and power ratings and how to work out what fits inside your car. The second one I did is about two-way split component sets more specifically, but there's a lot of information in that video that I don't want to repeat, but still worth knowing that will help you when choosing speakers. So by all means, watch those two videos before diving into this one if you're not really sure about speakers at all. If you're ready to go, so am I. Let's do it. So tip number one, what differs a three-way component set from a two-way obviously is the addition of a third element, the small mid-range driver normally. So a two-way component set will have your tweeter and maybe a 6.5-inch mid-range driver, and by inserting the mid-range driver into that, you are spreading the frequencies across three elements of speakers instead of two. There's a number of benefits for that. The first one is if you can move all of the frequencies played by this one higher up in the car and maybe further forward in the car to the base of the A-pillars, for example, you're going to raise the sound stage. The bulk of the sound is going to sound like it's coming from up here at ear height. And if you can move it further forward, you're going to get better what's called path length differences between left and right. And that achieves better what's called imaging, which places the, say, for example, the vocals in the center of the screen and the instruments spread wide across the dashboard, which is the ultimate thing you're aiming for. The other big benefit when you split up across three speakers instead of, say, two speakers in a two-way component set is you've got higher power handling because each speaker is focusing on a narrower group of frequencies. That also improves clarity. So tip number two, I want to talk about the specifics for the installation because that also pertains to what kind of speaker kit you're going to buy. Now, your car may already have a three-way kit from factory. It may have a two-way component set, but provisioned for the mid-range driver. Easiest way to tell is have a look at the door trim and see if there's a second grille somewhere higher up and further forward that's sort of mid-ranged size, and see when you play the sound system, does sound come out? Maybe you've already got a three-way kit in the car and there's a mid-range in that grille. If you've got the grille and no sound comes out, it just means that your factory option was an upgrade that whomever bought the car new just decided not to option. And so you can take advantage of that because there'll be provision to mount a speaker behind there. So you'll have to whip a door trim off, have a look in there and see what's in there. It may be a blanking plate over a hole in the door skin itself, and you may need to make a custom mount to mount your mid-range speaker in there. Once you've had a look, you can get an idea of what size is going to fit. It's why most of the kits come with a 3-inch, because if there's a grille there, a 3-inch is probably going to fit behind there. It'll work fine with a custom mount. If you've got a 2-channel three-way component set that just has a passive crossover to split the frequencies up, where's this going to go? If you put it in the door and the tweeters on the dashboard, you're going to need to run a fresh wire from this back through the door back to where the tweeter is. Alternatively, you may find if there is already a provision for a mid-range driver to be mounted, there may be an individual wire that's just not being used right now that already runs through into the car. You'll need to find where the factory amplifier is and see if you can find that that runs back to where that is. And that may be the place to mount the crossover because the wiring for the factory mid-bass driver, mid-range driver and tweeters will all be there, and that's where this is most likely going to mount or somewhere near there. Now, the most likely scenario is that you'll need a full custom installation for the mid-range because you don't have the provision for that in your car at all. Now, if you're in Sydney and you can get to our workshop, you can book in and we can do that custom installation for you. We have these special pods here that the mid-range and the tweeter mounts into like so. and then they just mount in the bottom of the A-pillars. What happens is we take the A-pillars out, we cut them all out. These are all fashioned in and melded into those, glued in and secured, and then all custom trimmed to match your car perfectly, and all custom wired up to match that. So if you're in Sydney, we can take care of that for you at our workshop at any time. We don't have these for sale just yet, but keep an eye on our website. You might find that these will pop up at some point and be available for you to try and do that installation yourself at home. So tip number 3, for new users or people who don't have much experience with tweaking and tuning and adjusting things, a basic passive system is probably the best way to go. It's also the simplest to set up, the simplest to install, and the simplest to tune. You get your set of speakers for left and right and your passive crossover. You take your source output from your amplifier or even from a head unit into the input. You connect the wires to the mid-bass, the mid-range, and the tweeter. You've got maybe an adjustment for tweeter level like this crossover does here. It's got a 3-position switch, 1, 2, 3 for low, medium and high for the tweeter level relative to these. And that's it, away you go. It's nice and simple. You don't need to buy any more amplifiers. You don't have to worry about what crossover frequencies should I set? Can I damage my speakers or anything like that? 3-way passive systems like this are the simplest to install. They're the simplest to set up and tune. You just plug them in and away you go. Now tip number 4, let's talk about something called SemiActive, and that's to do with the crossovers. It combines both the passive crossover that you would get in a component set, say, and an active crossover that you'll find in an amplifier or a DSP amplifier, a DSP unit, or maybe even a head unit if you've got a reasonably high-end head unit that's got filter frequencies that suit this. And what you're looking at doing is you're going to combine a 2-way component set, say a 6.5 and tweeter, with its passive crossover that has the filter frequencies between the tweeter and the mid-range, somewhere between 3,500 and 5,000 hertz somewhere. And you're going to add a mid-range driver to that. You're going to connect the mid-range driver to the crossover instead of the mid-bass driver. And you're going to do the crossover between the mid-bass driver and the mid-range driver with that external crossover in the amp or DSP or head unit. Now, Alpine's S-Series is a great example of that, especially if you're on a tight budget. The S-Series are really, really affordable and come in a size to suit virtually any application. They have 8-inch, 6x9-inch, 6x8-inch, 6.5, 5.25, and 4-inch in coaxial and or split component set. And so you can mix and match those to suit your specific application. It's all really affordable. Example here is 6.5-inch component set with a 4-inch component set. So there's actually 2 sets of tweeters here. The total retail price for these is well under $400, especially at the discount price we tend to sell these at. The tweeters are slightly different, so you wouldn't use both of them at the same time. The one that comes with the 6-inch is slightly larger to 25mm versus a 19mm that comes with the 4-inch. So I would omit that tweeter from the system, or maybe put it in the rear instead of the factory rear tweeters. But there's the crossover, there's the tweeter, take those out. That leaves us with 25mm tweeter, 4-inch mid-range, 6.5-inch mid-bass drivers. The crossovers, or the high-pass filters in this case for the tweeters, they get used, and on the same channels you'll parallel the 4-inch mid-range drivers. So 1 and 2 channels for that set. The high-pass filter for the 4-inch is going to be enacted from 2 of the channels of your amplifier or DSP amplifier, or 2 channels of your head unit if they've got a crossover that can go as high as the lowest frequency these require. A 4-inch like that can probably play happily down to around about 150 hertz, but I'd prefer to cross it over a bit higher than that, 200, 250. The higher you cross over that at, the higher the power handling will be mechanically. And then from there down, you'll use the same crossover in the amplifier to give you the low pass filter for this, or in this instance, this one comes with a little choke on there, and that acts as a low pass filter passively anyway. And so there's a really affordable way of doing a 3-way component set that doesn't require you to go and spend mega dollars, or you can actually choose a really high-end or mid to high-end 6.5-inch component set and add a mid-range driver to that without having to spend a huge amount of money on amplifiers or DSP, because most amplifiers like this one here from Alpine, this one here has a crossover that can be adjusted up to 400 Hertz, and that's plenty of scope to get that cut point between the 6.5 and the 4-inch. And so you'll find a frequency in there that'll be a good balance between sound quality and power handling. Now, of course, SemiActive can be used for many applications. You may already have a 6.5-inch component set in your car, for example. You want to upgrade to 3-way, you just want to add a 2 or a 3 or a 4-inch mid-range to that to get the benefit of a 3-way set. The important part obviously is that you make sure that whatever you're using for that extra crossover, the active crossover between the mid-bass and mid-range, has a filter frequency range that's suitable to get the job done. Now, tip number 5, the ultimate setup is what's called a fully active front stage. And that means there's no passive filtering at all. And you've just got raw individual speakers, mid-bass, mid-range tweeter. You'll have 6 discrete channels of amplification, so a channel for each speaker in the system. But you'll also need the DSP system that's going to give you the crossovers, the time correction, and the equalization you're going to need to control that. And really, that's where the massive sound quality gains come from. Now, we offer DSP processors and amplifiers with DSP built in from Alpine, Audio Control, Sue and Vega, Encore, Helix, JBL, JL Audio, Match, Audison, Rockford Fosgate, and Hertz. So we can offer a solution to suit any budget and for any system design. Alpine has the DP range of speakers. This is the DP653. It's sold as this active array with no crossover, or the CX version that comes with the crossover. So some companies like Alpine will give you the option of passive or active, and I know that Focal, for example, has a similar arrangement with some of their speaker line. Over at Ground Zero, for example, their Plutonium series, they're actually sold as individual drivers. So you can buy a pair of mid-bass drivers, a pair of mid-range drivers, and then tweeters. They'll have a couple of different options for you to choose from, and you pick and mix and match the ones you want to go for your application or to suit your budget. Now, if you buy a pre-packaged 3-way component set, the most common size they come in is a 6.5 for the mid-bass driver, a 3-inch for the mid-range, and then a tweeter that's somewhere between 19mm or a 25mm tweeter. The thing is, not all cars want to accommodate that specific size, and so the other way to go about it is you buy your 2-way component set to suit your car's largest driver, and then add the mid-range driver that suits the placement for you. So you might be able to fit a 4-inch, you might only be able to fit a 2-inch. And so you can go and mix and match component sets and find any kind of size that you would need to make up a 3-way component set. And so when choosing a 3-way component set for your car, there's almost an infinite amount of choice available to you. So that's a deep dive into 3-way split component sets. You'll find a link down below that'll take you through to our website if you want to grab a set for yourself. While you're down there, like and subscribe as always, and I will see you on the next one.